rising storm. I'm forged in the fire, a new heart reborn. With every breath, with every stride, God, I'm your warrior, with you as my guide. Through the valleys of shadow, through the rising storm, I'm forged in the fire, a new heart reborn.
Hey everybody, I hope my unicorn warriors are doing great, wonderful, and fabulous. I came across a TikTok on my way home from work today, and I know I haven't been as present as I normally am, and I'm sorry. I've just been trying to catch up with so much since the 3 weeks that I was out of work and everything. But big shout out to Matthew. He is an awesome investigator, awesome researcher. The man finds some things, y'all. But he asked, I guess I assume this is Chat GPT or one of those things that, you can ask and then they'll give you an answer. But the question was, if a self-unaliving occurred in Lumber River State Park in North Carolina, several agencies would likely respond depending on the circumstances at the location within the park. Lumber River State Park spans multiple counties: Robeson, Scotland, Hoke, and Columbus. So the specific, y'all know I'm not the greatest with words, jurisdiction would influence the, hold on. Alright, so the specific, jurisdiction would influence the response. Here's a breakdown of the agencies that would typically be involved. North Carolina State Park Rangers. Forgot about the Rangers. Park Rangers are the primary responders within state parks. They are sworn law enforcement officers trained to handle emergencies, including self-unalivings, and would likely be the first on the scene to secure the area. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I forgot about that too, because usually, like Rangers is like they have more authority, I guess you would call it, over like even the regular law enforcement, and assess the situation and coordinate with other agencies. County Sheriff's Office, which, if we remember right, I think that might have been what Johnny had talked about, was there when he came back from the gas station, was a sheriff. Yeah, because the drone, the sheriff had a drone, and he was like a on-call 24-hour whatever sheriff. Since the park crosses multiple counties, the sheriff's office of the county where the incident occurred would respond. For example, Robeson County Sheriff's Office if it happened near Princess Anne Access in Orem. Scotland County Sheriff's Office if near Chalk Banks Access in Wagram, Wagram. So if I mispronounced it, I'm sorry. They would investigate the incident, especially if it involves a death, and work. Waiting for it to scroll. With the park rangers, local law enforcement. If the incident occurred near a town or required additional support, local police departments, Larmonton Police Department and Robeson County might assist, though the sheriff's office typically takes precedence in uncooperated areas like the park. Emergency Medical Services, EMS. County-based EMS would be dispatched to provide medical assistance to confirm the death. For instance, Robeson County EMS and Scotland County EMS, depending on the location. North Carolina Medical Examiner's Office in cases of unattended or unnatural deaths, such as a self-unaliving. The county medical examiner under the state's office of the chief medical examiner would investigate to determine the official cause of death and conduct an autopsy necessary. North Carolina Division of Park and Recreation, while not a direct responder, this state agency oversees Lumber River State Park and might be, waiting for it to scroll, involved involved in the administrative capacities such as providing support to rangers and managing public safety announcements. Other potential agencies: North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commissions. If the incident involved a firearm or occurred during fishing boating activities, they might assist as they enforce wildlife and boating laws. That's interesting. Local fire department. If access to the scene required specialized equipment, water rescue, a nearby fire department could be called. North Carolina State Highway Patrol. If the incident impacted roads leading to the park, they might provide traffic control, which it didn't. But that what was it? Not the local fire, the one before that one. And I can't scroll up to look. But that one. Okay, and it says the response would begin with park rangers and the relevant county sheriff's office, with additional agencies called as needed based on the specifics, of the situation, such as the presence of a firearm. Accessibility challenges or public safety concerns. Coordination would be key given the park's remote nature and multi-county jurisdiction. Which that's interesting because Columbus County, I try to FOIA Columbus County, and I wanted all of the 911 calls that were made on April 27th, all of them. And they said there wasn't any. And Miss Ann even tried to FOIA them too. And then I was going to try and FOIA another county for her because they were giving her a runaround. Well, she FOIA'd Columbus County for me, and she put in there just for that day and the times and concerning Mica Miller. And they said there wasn't any. But they said that there were no calls that day, Columbus County, no 911 calls that day at all, which I find kind of odd. Alright, and then there was something else too I wanted to read, so let me find it. I'm on TikTok, so as y'all know, I'm kind of slow with TikTok, so let's see if I can go to because someone else had posted something asking ChatGPT about it, and it really makes you think, especially with the FBI involvement and things like that. But it was really interesting that the answers that it got. All right, I finally found it. All right, it says ask ChatGPT Part 1. If someone is kidnapped and unalived in South Carolina and then transported across state lines to be dumped in North Carolina, which state FBI agency would have jurisdiction over the investigation? Very good question. I've wondered that myself. Alright. And then it says, in a situation like that where a person is kidnapped and murdered or unalived in South Carolina and their body is transported across state lines and dumped in North Carolina, both state federal agencies would likely be involved. But here's how it generally breaks down. 1. FBI jurisdiction, federal. Because the crime involves interstate activity crossing state lines, especially in the kidnapping and unaliving case, the FBI would have federal jurisdiction under the laws like, waiting for it to scroll down. There we go. The Lindbergh Law. Let's see. Lindbergh law, Federal Kidnapping Act, Federal Unaliving Statutes, if it is tied to the kidnapping or interstate aspects. The FBI typically leads the investigation when interstate kidnapping is involved, as it's a federal offense. 2 state jurisdictions, South Carolina and North Carolina. South Carolina would have jurisdiction over the kidnapping and the unaliving if evidence shows the killing happened there. North Carolina would have jurisdiction over any crimes committed in their state, such as abuse of a corpse, evidence tampering, and illegal dumping. 3, coordination. In practice, the FBI would coordinate with both state and local law enforcement in South Carolina and North Carolina. The primary jurisdiction for prosecution might depend on where the unaliving occurred, strength of evidence in each state, federal, interstate, or interest in taking the case, if there's a pattern or organized crime. Would you like a breakdown of this? Might play out legally in court. Okay. I guess that's a question that the ChatGPT was asking. And it says, but would it be South Carolina or North Carolina FBI that would have jurisdiction over the investigation? And then ChatGPT says, got it. You're asking which FBI field office would lead investigations, South Carolina or North Carolina? In that case, here how it typically works. Primary FBI office jurisdiction. The FBI field office in the state where the crime originated. In this case, South Carolina, where the kidnapping and likely the unaliving occurred, would generally take primary investigative jurisdiction. Here's why. The kidnapping is the trigger for federal involvement, and it began in South Carolina. If the murder also occurred in South Carolina, then the Charleston, Columbia, or Greenville FBI office, depending on the district, would lead the case. The North Carolina FBI office, like Charlotte and Raleigh, would provide support. Come on, tick-a-tock. And then also, it's funny because I was just doing this and then pulled up, I'm in my driveway and just talking about Mr. Matthew, and then he actually messages me. So it was like he knew. But he probably saw that I liked this video, and then I commented too. But talking about the maintenance people. Now, there's one that has a relative that is a firefighter at Orem Fire Department. And that last video I posted says a fire department, which is the one I just got to reading to y'all, the first one. The fire department would likely respond if there was a water extraction of a body. How convenient that would be for job. Sorry. His brother pulls the body of the girl he unalived, and an hour earlier. Seems like a good cover-up to me. But why? Why was Mica out there? In my opinion, it was her laptop, which is something that I know I didn't think about. And because we always thought of that email about meeting up somewhere to sign the papers and getting it done and over with. But JP Diddy did have her laptop and some other things of hers that had some very sensitive information on there that she did not want others to see. So, but why was Mica out there? In my opinion, it was her laptop. She had already went through the steps to divorce him. Signing papers is a possibility, yeah. But she was desperately trying to get her laptop back because of what was on there. But that's just a thought. And that's a very, very good thought. And then he sent me a map from where that fire department is. to Lumberton, and it's only 6 minutes away. And if you got, and fire trucks, you know, they can go pretty fast, so could be less than that. So, which I will show y'all. Maybe y'all can see it all right. But not very far. Not very far at all. 6 minutes or less. And like I said, Mr. Matthew, y'all, if y'all see him in the comments, y'all show him some love, because I tell y'all what, that man finds some things. And he can put it together. And there's a lot of stuff that me and him, we think a lot alike with this stuff, but he's able to dig a lot deeper and find, you know, more information or things that I can't find, or I'm not able to have the time to do. So, but yeah, he is very good, y'all. And that is right, because remember, JP Diddy had her laptop, he stole her other phone, he stole her car, he stole a bunch of her other stuff with sensitive information on there. So yeah, that could have been it. And then remember, Johnny said that the lock was not on her purse when he found it. That lock was not on there. So, and there was no kind of evidence that anything like that even occurred. All right, and then JP in that four-wheeler got me thinking. I wonder if there is a four-wheeler trail riding club there around Princess Anne. His four-wheeler could have been stored at either of the maintenance peoples. I don't want to put names out there right now. At one of their houses. That's one scenario. Another is, come to Bethlehem, Mica. I got your laptop. She pulls in, he takes off. And this is one thing that, since we found out about that church and how it's all linked and everything, I'm thinking that's probably where the setup was, hey, we can meet at this church, because either way at that gas station, you turn right, you turn left, takes you to that church. So, and that's one scenario. Another is, come to Bethlehem, Mica. I got your laptop. She pulls in, he takes off. She follows him. He pulls in at that ping on Princess Anne Road, one of the maintenance people's houses, knocks her out. They scuffle. He takes her pew-pew, shoots twice. One misses, one doesn't. Throws her on her back in his truck. Sits there a few minutes, decides to put her on his four-wheeler, take her the back trail into Griffin's Whirl, dumps her out in the water, puts a log on her, throws 2 spent casings on the bank, shoots once into the tree, then throws the gun into the water, jumps on his four-wheeler, goes back to his truck, load his four-wheeler, then is seen the next day washing the blood off of it. Thoughts? I've been down a rabbit hole from hell, Veronica. Yeah, and I mean, all that makes sense. And I did find out some information, too, on that four-wheeler, because remember, that four-wheeler got took when the cops were called about that young boy riding it. And law enforcement took that four-wheeler. Now, we never heard, or or if we did, I forgot, or I never heard. I don't know, maybe some of y'all did. But I found out today that he did get that four-wheeler back. And I'm still wondering why they took it, because you would think they would have just gave him a citation or a ticket or something, but they took that four-wheeler for a reason. So, and yeah, I think everything Mr. Matthew is saying makes perfect sense and fits. It fits. I mean, that the puzzle pieces fit, you know. And then as far as people saying like, oh, there's no way you could fit a body on a four-wheeler or on the back of, yes, you can. And I was going to try and do a demonstration. My neighbor lady, her son's got a four-wheeler, but he keeps it as dad. So I was going to say, if he had it in the garage, I was about to go and curl up on it and stuff and show that it could be done. So, and I mean, you know, rigor mortis and all that don't start, I mean, it starts happening right away, but it's not like you're stiff right away, you know what I mean? And remember, nobody saw her walking. And there was no evidence anywhere, no red, no blood, no matter, no nothing. It was clean. She had a log on her. Her livor mortis was to the back. That means she had to been on her back for 30 minutes to an hour for her blood to settle to her back. She was found face down. So, unless Robeson County got a problem with some zombies or something, I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I am a speculator. And, but big shout out to Matthew and everyone else that's come together with information. I appreciate y'all. And everyone that's subscribed, not even subscribed, whatever. I still love y'all too. And I am sorry that I haven't been around as much lately. I will try and do better. I'm so sorry. Just trying to play catch up right now. But I love y'all. And if today's your birthday, happy birthday. Bye. Okay, I just got a little update on the four-wheeler on why it was taken by law enforcement, which to me still doesn't make any sense. I would still think that law enforcement would have told him, like, look, you know, he can't be riding this on this street, yada yada, still giving citation, ticket, whatever, warning, you know, whatever. But I guess the reasoning for them taking it was a minor was operating it on the road, which I don't know. Maybe someone in South Carolina with those laws, comment down below what y'all think, or what, I mean, would that be reason to take it? I mean, I see where I live at anyway. Like I was telling you, my neighbor, her son's got a four-wheeler. And before he was of age or whatever, like he would ride it around in our neighborhood, and we live in the city. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might be different in South Carolina. I don't know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. And, again, today's your birthday. Happy birthday. I'm sorry. And, y'all show Matthew some love, and anyone else that's doing this content creation and getting this information and stuff, because I tell y'all what, it really does take all of us, like, as a team. And because I mean, it's just so much information, and everyone finds different things, and you know, we can put it all together. So, but all right, I love y'all, and have a great night. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know your thoughts. And if today's your birthday, happy birthday!